lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. Roll up to the party, roll up to the
What is going on? I'm actually alive, aren't I? Oh, Jesus, man. What is going on? What are you doing? I went for that. Anyway, I'm actually alive, aren't I? Hail. Anyway. Oh, Jesus, man. What is going on?
You're trying to muck around the screens and you didn't realise that you has to press go live.
Live, aren't I?
Hail. Anyway, what's going on with Aberdeen?
What is going on
with Aberdeen this afternoon? They have
imploded.
Aberdeen have imploded to Aberdeen. And Aberdeen themselves have hipsed it, haven't they? Anyway, what's going on with Aberdeen? Hipsed it.
What is going on with Aberdeen this
Kaiser's in the
afternoon?
house. Aberdeen have imploded to Aberdeen. And Aberdeen themselves have hipsed it, haven't they? Anyway, what's going on with Aberdeen? Hipsed it. What's going on with Aberdeen? Kaiser's in the house. Aberdeen have imploded to Aberdeen. And Aberdeen themselves have hipsed it. Anyway, what's going on with Aberdeen? Scores. What's going on with Aberdeen? Kaiser's in the house. Aberdeen scores. And I was like, you're for even on Aberdeen itself. Anyway, what
scores? Yeah.
Aberdeen itself. Anyway, what's going on with Aberdeen? Scores.
That desktop down. And I know what's going on. There we go. That's because I was listening to myself. I hear you 100 times. It should be fine now. See, this is the thing when you just get upset about scores and you're like, fuck off. Really? That was trippy. Woohoo! Yeah, that's Aberdeen. Aberdeen have totally just imploded, haven't they? The live Premiership scores. 85 minutes, Aberdeen 1, Hibernian 3, Sevconians 1, Dundee 0, Ross County 1, St Mirren 1. I thought that might be the game of the day today. I never expected Aberdeen to be getting beat 3-1. 3-1. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's better as. Yeah, I thought it might be. Yeah. Anyway, start the dark side of the moon. Kaiser says that joint had hard. I bet it did. Like Kaiser, I need to speak to you because I'm going to get you on Boxing Day. Because there's only so much crap that one person can talk on Boxing Day. I'm going to say I think that you're breaking up bad now, Baz. Again, Danny Cass saying, no, I'm not, because everything's fine. The stream health is absolutely fine, and it's telling me that on the screen. A drink along tomorrow. Kaiser's doing a drink along as always. Just checking on the scores. Is there even any point in doing it? But what it's done to the league. Aberdeen have blown it, haven't they? Aberdeen have completely blown it. Unbelievable. Of all the clubs, I'll just get the live scores up. I mean, Aberdeen they've imploded. What is going on with Aberdeen? In the words of Tavernier, Aberdeen are disappointed. Are disappointing. Aberdeen are highly disappointing. I'm just trying to I'll come. Perfect on. Perfect, guys. I might try and get some other people on. We'll see. We will see. Anyway, Brendan Rodgers has been speaking to the media ahead of Tannadice. Brendan Rodgers takes the Celtic squad to Tannadice on Sunday for an important league game against Dundee United. And an interesting fact, it's the first time that Brendan Rodgers has been to Dundee United as manager, because the first time they'd been relegated. Celtic, who lifted the first silverware of the season, whilst the other side are cheated, never defeated. Yes, the other side are they're cheated, never defeated. The other lot. Brendan Rodgers just said, look, we go on, it's over, it's done with, we go on to the next set of medals that we can hopefully win. And 3 points on the target tomorrow for Brendan Rodgers in the first ever competitive match against Dundee United. They were obviously relegated when he was at the first time. and then they were relegated, and fucking who cares? It's Dundee United. Celtic will have to do without James Forrest, who's been ruled out for up to 6 weeks. We hope that James Forrest has a speedy recovery. It's absolutely devastating for James Forrest, because he was just getting some more game time, and it looks like he might try and get that goal, and Celtic were trying to get him on as much game time as possible, so have that opportunity to try and get the goal to make him an absolute legend of the game. But legends do get injured. Speaking ahead of Lennoxtown, speaking at Lennoxtown ahead of the game, says Alistair Johnston's progress will be monitored. Although if the Canadian international misses out Sunday, he'll be fine for all the rest of the fixtures. I think it looks like they're going to rest Alistair Johnston and bring in Tony Ralston, who's fantastic and backup. And it's a away game at Dundee United. He should be doing fine. Brendan Rodgers says, I've never been to Tannadice. I've not faced them there as manager. But I know the history of Dundee United growing up following Celtic. And when they're back, it's a tough place to go to. It's a game that I expect for Jim Goodwin to be an organised team. And he says that they'll be really up for it. They will be really up for it. Greg Taylor will be in the squad ahead of the game. Let's hope that Taylor will remain at Celtic beyond when his contract expires. Will Celtic, if he doesn't sign between now and January, he has to be sold. And Celtic will not allow Greg Taylor to go for nothing. And if the hierarchy at Celtic, it's 90 minutes with the Hibernian game. If the hierarchy at Celtic cannot come to a conclusion with Greg Taylor's agent, he'll be sold. The exact same as Turnbull last winter. The same Turnbull at the beginning of this year. Greg Taylor will be sold, and then it puts us in a position because we'll need a left back. Could be the situation that we need 2 left backs come the summer. 2 left backs. I mean, Brendan Rodgers has to come out and say the right things. He has to keep on coming out and saying, look, I want Greg Taylor to stay. But I mean, he also said at the press conference yesterday, look, it's Greg Taylor's last big payday. It is Greg Taylor's last big payday. And he has to make sure that it's right for him and his family. So you can understand that they're trying to get every single penny out of Celtic. And still, it's unbelievable that Hibernian are winning 3-1 up in Aberdeen. After the woeful start to the season that Hibernian have had. I mean, that's Hibernian on 18 games now, and they're only sitting in 8th in the league. It does put a little bit of position between themselves and Hearts. With Kilmarnock playing tomorrow. Ross County, they've been put down into the mix, but still, Hearts are down there, so let's just hope they can stay down there as much as possible. Sevco's narrowly winning today, I see, by the looks of it. I'll just jump on the land of the Twitterati. Always good to see this. Jesus. Could you imagine if pyro like this went off in Scotland? That's just like, I'm watching I'll retweet this on Twitter. It's basically a firework display going off in the ground. People in Scotland would have an absolute meltdown if that happened. There's no update for that fucking mob. So anyway, yeah, Brendan Rodgers. He says Greg's a great player, and I really enjoyed working with him on and off the pitch. I've said it before, and I'll repeat it. I really want him to stay. So I'm hoping between the club and his representatives, we can organise a deal. But I also understand that he's 27, and this will be one of his last big contracts of his career. So he has to make sure that everything is right. But what I know is, I really want him here. I love working with him, and I really enjoy that every aspect of seeing him, because he's up for every single training session, and for me, he's a really important player, says Brendan Rodgers. You can say all you want in public, Brendan, but we know in private, you'll know the story. You'll know the script. if he's not signed by the 1st of January, if he's not signed a new deal, Dundee are going to be a threat to us. Good. Yeah, that's a long time ago. I just think that if Greg Taylor doesn't sign the contract by the 1st of January, he's got to be sold. He's got to be sold. Anyway, it should be a training match tomorrow. Sounds like an 18-month Brendan contract. I don't think it'll be an 18-month Brendan contract. I just think that the money that he's looking for is nowhere near what Celtic will be willing to offer Greg Taylor. He's not a 40 grand a week player in Scotland. He's not a 40 grand a week player for Celtic. He can go down south and he'll get that all day long. He can go down south and he'll get 40 grand a week all day long, and it's whether he takes that jump. And anyway, if he does, we wish him good luck. If he doesn't, 94 minutes into the Aberdeen game, St Mirren have just taken the lead against Ross County. St Mirren have just taken the lead against Ross County. So that pushes them up the table, makes them a little bit safer. Does make them a little bit safer, closer to Dundee United, who we play tomorrow. Puts them level on points, but they're on a goal difference of -5, where Dundee United are on a goal difference of +6. So they would have to score a barrel load of goals to jump above Dundee United just on the goal difference alone. But yes, that's a good result for St Mirren if that keeps coming in. Basically, make sure that Ross County are stuck down there. That's giving Kilmarnock that little bit of breathing space. Look at the other results. South Koreans are 3 minutes into extra time. They are 3 minutes into extra time. Wonder if they'll get booed off the park today. They've just hit the crossbar. They've had... I can't wait till they make a complaint to the SFA today, because I've had four efforts off the bar. Yes, it's not VAR, it's a bar. Is there a league table for crossbar hits? Oh, Jesus. This isn't something to be proud of. It's not something to be proud of. Who cares? Anyway, let's jump into the comments section and see who's all in the house this afternoon. Dave Hislop's in the house. Brian Hart's in the house. Kevin Doon's in the house. Scotty Boy's in the house. They were in a bit earlier to hope that Seth Collins would drop points. Dave Morton, Mr. Quinn, and jump through that. Hoopy Dog. Hoop Doggy Dog. Danny Cassidy's in the house. Mr. Quinn, Craig Young, and Peter is in the house. Dave Morton, and a load of other people. Michelle Shaw's in the house. Kaiser's in the house. Stephen Kelly's in the house. Brian Hart. Paul's in the house. I wish Brendan would stop begging Taylor to stay. Just done and get rid of him. He's got to do the right thing in public. If he turns around and starts saying that he doesn't want the player, then I mean, it's just he's got to say that. I think anyway. But I don't really care. I think he will be off. I've said it for long enough. When it gets to this stage of the season, I did say, look, there's only one outcome, and it will not be. Celtic will not lose out. Celtic will not lose out financially. They'll not let him stay until the end of his contract. Not a way. Not a chance. But anyway, Brendan Rodgers says that he's relishing the chance to face Dundee United for the first time as manager when he takes his Celtic side to Tannadice. Yes, he says, the first time I was in charge between 2016 and 2019, he conceded with a 4-year spell when Dundee United were in the Championship. And when Rodgers returned in the summer of 2023, United had just been relegated once more and had to wait 18 months of his current reign to lock horn with Dundee United, and that he's looking forward to it. Nonsense. 8 minutes. That's it. Full time at Ibrox. It is 1-0 to the Sevconians. A lucky 1-0. Let's get the reaction of the Boo Brigade. Jesus. Shite performance. Rangers died. Mince pies and up the road. Should have scored more than one. Putting that performance down to tired legs, because that was rotten. Second place secured, get in. Don't even talk about that. Pish, we could never finish to save ourselves. So wasteful. Sensational, second by Christmas. That was so effing boring. That's enough of that manky mob. Let's get back to the Premier League results. And 8 minutes into the Aberdeen Hibernian game, Hibernian winning 3-1 up at Aberdeen. You never saw that one coming all day long, surely. I mean, what has happened to Aberdeen? Have Aberdeen completely just lost the plot? I don't know what's going on with Aberdeen. I dread the dreaded Ludgate. That rotten mob on the news, poor performance. Lorna Gallagher's in the house, Stuart Ramsey's in the house. I'm totally gutted. They're still seething over the penalty. They can't be still talking about the penalty. Jesus God, man. They can't still be talking about that. The final decision making is awful. Shite performance. Oh dear, who cares? Is it time up? Aberdeen, the game has finished. Finished in Aberdeen. Aberdeen 1, Hibernian 3. Rangers Sevco 1, Dundee 0. Ross County 1, St Mirren 2. That's a long trip back down the road for St Mirren, away up to Ross County. I wonder how many fans went up to Ross County on a Saturday afternoon. Up to Ross County. Great wee trip that. I do. Ross County is one of the teams that I always want to see staying up. Purely for it's a fantastic away day. And all the guys that do away day trips. It's always an early start, but you know what I mean? It's a nice wee bevy trip. That game hasn't finished just yet, still 2-1 to Ross County. To St Mirren, sorry. Apologies to Ross County for letting you thinking that you're no Ross County fans watching this anyway. There was. They're still talking about the penalty. Last penalty, I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away. Next year, Baz on the SFA. Jesus, Muppet Maxwell was greeting about VAR decision last week. They're clearly fuming, Sevco. Who cares about them? Aberdeen away games are good, says Paul Baird. They're good, Paul, they're good, but there's no decent pubs around, mind you, there's no decent pubs around the Ross County ground. But there used to be a few pubs. It depends what time you get the Aberdeen kickoffs at. It's always get to a good bevy. The further away games, the better. There's too many teams round about the central belt in Scotland. The gift that keeps giving. I'm going to have to go into their knob end cast. Should we do? Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if we could find some of the miserable friggers live, just for a pure banter. I'll just double check this. Nope. Let me just see. Oh, don't want that. Let's see the live. They're not live either. Column unacceptable debacle. Rangers. Is there any of the miserable figures live? 6:30. No wait around that long. They're not doing live straight away. Is this coming up on the desktop's turned down? That's fine. We were robbed, man. Just see if there's any sound on this. Someone's streaming Radio Scotland. How embarrassing. Oh, there we go. These are new ones. Just trying to find. There's none of them live. Shite bags. Absolute shite bags. Aberdeen have just collapsed, Paul Baird, after the 6-0 defeat by Celtic. Yeah, Paul Baird, they have. Aberdeen are they're terrible, aren't they? Like your pod as I am 58, but please stop swallowing stuff. And I would subscribe. Tony, you must be subscribed. Just to let you know, Tony, if you're not subscribed, cheerio. Like your pod, 58, please stop swallowing stuff. And I would subscribe, mate. Hail, hail. Says Tony. Swallowed. I'm too old in the game for nonsense. Far too old. And anyway, you must be subscribed, Tony, because that's the only way that you could chat. So if you want to unsubscribe, feel free. I don't really care, to be honest. Anyway, let's get on to the big thing, because we are just a couple of days. We are just a couple of days away from the big. I just need to update this. Boxing Day Live, St. Stephen's Day Live, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to get the image. Is it that image? Yeah, we'll put it on that one. It's Brendan Rodgers talking. I'll put it there. And that'll come up on the screenshot. Oh no, it's far too big. Jesus. Oh, nope. Image. Scale. There we go. Bring it down. Boxing Day Live event. We are sitting on 63% of the money that we are trying to raise for the Celtic Foundation. We're sitting on £1,266, which is a fantastic amount. 57 people have donated so far. And we are sitting on a fantastic amount of money for Baz Swallows. These are a bunch of perverts. Absolutely a bunch of perverts. Could be worse. It could be on the bucky. I don't know what's wrong with you lot. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with you lot. Let's get rid of that image. Anyway, thank you to everyone who has donated so far, making it £1,266 that we've raised even for the Celtic Foundation, which is a fantastic amount of money. We're going to look at the league table tonight. The league table, Aberdeen have dropped a position. Yes, the Aberdeen implosion is almost complete, isn't it? Rangers they now have a game in hand, and going into Christmas, they are second in the table by 1 point. Aberdeen totally have fallen away. They haven't won a game. They haven't won a game since Celtic beat them back in the semi-final for the cup that we just won at the weekend. So shame on you, Aberdeen. So much for you singing we're going to win the league. You're not singing that now, Aberdeen fans, are you? You're not singing we're going to win the league now. Look at the other results that have came in on. So we've done that already. They're all in, aren't they? We've done it. The full-time results in Scottish football today: Aberdeen 1, Hibernian 3, Sevco 1, Dundee 0, Ross County 1, St Mirren 2. That's a roundup of Scottish Premier scores and fixtures on today, the 21st, fucking day ahead of myself, 21st of December 2024. Anyway, we've done the Brendan Rodgers. Is there any other Celtic news? I'm not staying on too long tonight because I was trying to see if we could do a live hack. But I'll just see if they're on. They're not going on live for about another. Oh, there's an interesting one. I'll just click on this. Oh my God, this is. I've just found a reaction that I've never seen. I'm going to have to listen to this. It may be part of a meltdown, but you'll never know. Oh, shut up, you.
Reaction to Rangers 3, Celtic 3, but Celtic win on penalties in the League Cup final. I'm Scott Carney, I'm with Ali Pearson. Ali, how are you, mate?
It's a hard one to take, Carney, but we're trying to digest it with the lads in the pub here at Churchill. It's a sickness to go out in penalties. I thought Rangers gave what they could give in the park.
Long day at Hampden, it really has. That's progress. That,
to be honest, we all turned
50 through the whole game. I thought Rangers' reaction to going behind progress. Rangers team and the kind of
positives, and that's what I'll take from it today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll leave final word to Dixie. Dixie, how did you think today?
I think as Rangers fans, we need to look beyond the trees and see the forest.
That's exactly what you said.
What? That's enough of that nonsense. What the? Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. Jesus goodness me. Half full Ibrox again. Blocked a Celtic fan from birth, mate. What? I don't know what Tony's going on about. They're always greeting. Yeah, they're always greeting. Raskin, I'm not even caring about Raskin. Jota and KT running. I asked Santa Baz. I don't think so. I don't think that. I've got a funny feeling that neither will return. I've just got a funny feeling that we're not going to get KT or Jota. I don't think Jota will return. I mean, would you take Jota back? Let's do a little poll. There's not many people on this. Let's start a poll. With the limited people that are on. I mean, would you take Jota back? It's an interesting one. Wee Stevie on Cool got me barred from YouTube for a week. Wee knob. I love in his heat. Oh, Jesus. I know what you're talking about. Tony. Would you take Jota back? And 25 votes in so far. 84% say yes and 18% say no. Interesting. Tell me in the comments why you wouldn't take Jota back. It's just interesting to get a bit of interaction why you wouldn't take Jota back. God, I've been here for half an hour already. Jeez, time flies when you're having fun. Time does fly when you're having fun. Analytics. 39 votes. We'll get up to 50 votes and then we're going to shut it. Jota is not needed, said Paul Baird. So Jota, obviously, Paul Baird voted no for Jota. Interesting. Jota's a multi-millionaire. He won't try as hard, so no. Do you think so? I don't think that matters. But I don't get that one. Nah, I'm not buying that one, James. If you look at that, Nobody says that about Messi, and Messi's got more money than nobody says it about Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a multi-millionaire, so he's not going to try as hard. That's a nonsense statement about a football player. That's just nonsense. He's a multi-millionaire. He won't try as hard. I don't get that at all. Jota would be ideal, as you could play on either wing, says Gareth. Mark says, I would take Jota back, but I don't like the way he dropped tools and ran. Jota never dropped tools and ran. Jota played his heart out until the end of the season. Jota never. That's people have got selective memories, I think. Mark, Jota and KT back and move a 4-4-2. Maida and Colga front. Hey, Kaiser, you're just copying what I said about a week ago. Second star above my new Celtic top. Yeah, we'll get that one done. Wrens are ripping up contracts. That's what I tell you. I don't think that they're ripping up his contract. They'll try and sell him. They're not going to rip up his contract. He's a professional footballer. He always try hard. Says Lorna, Kenny and Adam Ida as backup at the future of the island. That would be a good backup, actually. Johnny Kenny and Adam Ida. But realistically, would it happen? And would if we get one more vote? If we get one more vote, there's 167. Jota couldn't wait to get out. I don't think he could. I mean, he won the league at the end of the season, and he was sold during the summer, Mark. So I wouldn't say that he couldn't wait to get out. Do you know what I mean? We sold him for 25 million. So it wasn't really down to Jota, was it? But it's all about opinions. It is all about opinions. He's a player, remember, that the manager said he couldn't wait to get working with. And then he was sold under his feet. So there you go. If you remember, Brendan Rodgers said that when he came in, he can't wait to get working with Jota. And then in comes a bid for 25 million. So there you go. Jota can't play in the UK until next season due to his Dubai taxes, says Lanky. Well, I don't think he's going to come back anyway. Magnus says, good evening all. Personally, I don't want Jota back. I will go forward, not backwards. That's my opinion. Well, you wouldn't want Kieran Tierney back then, Magnus, would you? Because that would be going in the same way. That would be us going backwards and not forwards. So you can't have it both ways. So Magnus, would you still like Kieran Tierney back? I'm going to end that poll now. 82% say yes, they want Jota back, and 17% say no. Jota was sold, he didn't have a say in it, says Mr. Quinn. Yes, you're right. Would you swap Rodgers for Ange? Not a friggin' chance. Not a chance. Never. Not a chance. No way. No, I wouldn't. And especially after what Ange did. You've got to remember that the morning of the cup final, the Scottish Cup final, when he went to Hampden, in Hampden, before the game, he turned around to Dermot and Peter Lawwell and told them before kick-off that he wanted to talk to Spurs. That's what Ange did. You know, so anyway, genuine coconut, definitely not. Tony says, thanks mates, I went through bad times in the 80s, 90s. Yeah, there you go. I'm sure we all did. We all went through bad times in the 90s with your Celtic fan. Celtic girls in the house. And anyway, let me just see if there's any Celtic news kicking around, any new stuff, but there's nothing really. Casper Schmeichel. Let me see this. That's a nothing story. There's a nothing story. Anyway, we'll look forward to the Dundee United game tomorrow. We're going to do a prediction for the Dundee. Santa list, says Gareth. KT, Jota and kids for Garden. I think that there'll be, not fucking hoping the hell of taking them back from Spurs. You wouldn't want them back from Spurs anyway, let's face it. You wouldn't want him back. I think that Brendan's going to be here for a good couple of seasons. The fact that Brendan Rodgers this week admitted that he went to Dublin with the hierarchy of Celtic to discuss the financing of the January window. For me, Celtic, the fact that this conversation took place and the fact that they went away to Dublin to do it so that they were away from prying eyes and any leakages from Celtic Park. I think that the fact that they have done that, it says that they know that they'll be. Dermot would want to know what's the situation with Greg Taylor. Brendan would have told him that, and then Brendan would also say this is the story that we're going with in public, and then he'd be talking about the Kieran Tierney situation, and they'll be talking about whether they can spend, I don't know, 20 million in this transfer window. If Celtic were to go out and spend some decent money in this transfer window, like we've never done before, let's face it, if Tierney doesn't come in and Greg Taylor's sold, we are in the market for a left back, no matter what. Kieran Tierney coming back on loan to the end of the season to give him game time. I don't think that Celtic would do that because of the money side of it. So I can't see Kieran Tierney coming back in the January transfer window. Arsenal would want Celtic to pay at least half his wages. Celtic are not paying 50 grand a week to Kieran Tierney. Not a hope in hell. Not a hope in hell. I can't see that happening at all. But then, if there's a scenario where if Celtic are offered Kieran Tierney for between 5 and 8 million, say, and Kieran Tierney is prepared to take a massive drop in wages, you could see that scenario might kick in. But you would then take the money, and this is where the money men would sit in. They would say to Dermot, right, we could sell Greg Taylor for 3 million, like we did last winter, with David Turnbull. We sell him for 3 million. We sell Bernabe for between 4 and 5 million. That covers the money for bringing in Kieran Tierney on purchasing the player. So then we're still, you could be sitting at a net spend of 0. And that will get the board, and Brendan Rodgers say, I've got a player that I want. The board will say, we've not spent any money. We've brought money in, we've spent money, but we're not sitting in a negative equity when it comes to transfers, which is always a good position for them to be in. They'll then look at some of the players that want to go out on loan, and I don't know. It'll be interesting. Black Sausage Square said, exactly, Kaiser. I've nothing against the guys. What? What are you talking about in the comment section? Jota's not gay. Honest to God, man. You're listening to Seth Conians too much. Anyway. Right, Dundee United. Tomorrow. I don't know if somebody put in a prediction. I'm going to go for Dundee. I'm going to put my prediction in. Dundee United 0, Celtic 2. I think it's going to be 2-0 tomorrow. A hard-fought game. Baz, no back to work 6th of January. There we go. You're on the swally. And I'm going for Dundee United 0, Celtic 2 tomorrow. Anthony McDonald is going for Dundee United 0, Celtic 4. No worries, Tony. No worries at all. Gareth Robertson's next up. He's going for 4-1. I hope it's that for Dundee United. I hope it's not for Dundee United. Mr. Quinn's going for 3-0 Celtic. Lorna Galka is going for 4-0 Celtic. Dave Hislop. Whoa. He must be on the swally. Dave Hislop's going for 6-1 Celtic. And MEFW is going for 5-0 Celtic. Stephen Kelly's going for 3-1. He already posted it. Sorry about that, Stephen. I missed that. Lanky's going for 3-1 Celtic. Do you think that Celtic are going to start shipping goals now? It's interesting because we've only in the league, you've got to remember that we've only shipped 4 goals all season. And fair enough, we did ship 3 goals in the cup final, but in the league, we've only lost 4 goals all season. I don't know where you think that we're going to ship goals from. And against a Dundee United team that are sitting on a +6, they've got goal against 19, goals for 25, but they've had 19 goals scored against them all season. And they have scored 25 and they're sitting in 5th in the league. But They are never. They've only won 2 of their last 5 games. They are not putting a goal in past Celtic. Not a chance. Not a chance. Let me just jump back into this. Stephen Kelly's going for 3-1. Yeah, I got that. Lanky's going for 3-1. Paul's going for 3-1. And Christopher is going for 4-1. Celtic Girl is going for 3-0 to Celtic. William is going for 3-1 to Celtic. Gareth Robertson's going for 4-1. I don't know how you think that. Honestly, I cannot see Dundee United scoring. I cannot see Dundee United scoring. Black Sausage Square is going for 3-1. Richard Smith's going for 3-0. Genuine Coconut, that's a counting name and a half. He's going for 4-1 Celtic. The wheels didn't have fall off the sheep's bus. I don't think. Do you know? I don't even think the wheels. It wasn't wheels that fell off. It was an implosion of the Hibs that. The Hibs did in massive style. They had a real good chance to finish second in the league, and they've completely blown it. I wonder if we'll hear from Aberdeen, Ian Aberdeen ever again, or if he'll just disappear back into the ether. Something today says 4-0 because we look tired. Something today, I think there'll be a lot of changes tomorrow. I think there will be a lot of changes tomorrow in the team. Dan Cassidy's going for 2-0, plus a 1-0 would do. JT Boy 67 is going for 3-0 tomorrow. Kaiser's going for 4-0. I think it's going to be a closer game than that. I think that Dundee United, it's always a difficult game up there. It's never high scoring games, and there has been occasions where there's penalties not been given. Yes, there was an occasion when there was two fouls in the box, and there was still no penalty given to Celtic, and there was no VAR back in those days. Baz, I've been on the Swally since Sunday, mate. No worry, Tori, you've been on the Swally since Sunday. Jesus. 3 points is all that matters, says Celtic Girl. Yes, that is very true. Craig Young's going for 4-2. You really think that Celtic are going to ship 2 goals to Dundee United? That's crazy talk. Craig Young, you're crazy. You're fired. Anyway, just in case Red Bull are watching, this is the green edition. Just make sure it's on the screen in the correct manner. Just in case Red Bull are watching, and if you're not to do a sponsorship, Red Bull, this is the green edition of Red Bull. Yes, the green edition of Red Bull. Red Bull, if you want to get in touch for sponsorship, see the link that's in the description of these videos, and I'm sure there's an email also. But yeah, Red Bull, get in touch. Let's do a sponsorship. Blatantly sell your soul to the devil, Baz. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, let's get rid of that league table, because the league table doesn't really matter. All that matters is the fact that we're on £1,266 for the Celtic Foundation. We have set a target of £2,000 now. The original target was £1,000. We've surpassed that, and we've been a little bit cheeky, and we've tried to raise £2,000 for the Celtic FC Foundation. Celtic FC Foundation is the charitable arm of Celtic Football Club, who collect a massive amount of money for good causes, not only in and around Glasgow, but in and around Scotland and further afield. And it'd be great if we can do our part for them this Christmas. And that's the old Just Given bit, and that image there, that's that one. The sub, everything's all higgledy-piggledy. One last look at the league table. Nope, don't want to look at the league table. Let's get rid of it altogether. Doesn't matter, because it just gives us bad news. Celtic news, there's no new headlines kicking around. Andy Walker highlights the big Kieran Tierney picture. Everyone's talking about Kieran Tierney. That says to me that it won't happen. The more people that talk about it, thank you to Lorna. I'm going to a Christmas subscription, mate. Thank you to the Fenian Red Bull. Yep, it's the Fenian Red Bull. It's the green edition. Just to annoy the Sevconians. It gives you wings and lets you fly over the Ibrox and shout on the bastards below. Dundee United have a good squad. Last game I attended, the Arabs back at Celtic Park, 4-2 under Ange, but says Craig Young. But Ange was all attacking football, which kind of left us open at the back. Brendan Rodgers has got rid of that crazy kind of way that Ange had us playing. Never underestimate our referees to prove something. 2 penalties. Oh no. As long as Hearts go down, says Stephen Kelly. Yes, as long as Hearts do go down. Andy Walker's a clown. Yep, he is that. That's why he's not getting any kind of airtime whatsoever. Should we stay on for another 5 minutes? Nah, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother trying to do a live hackathon. Just see. Let's see if we can get some of these clowns on just purely for the banter. They must know that we're going to hack them because none of them seem to be live. No, there we go. No, nobody is live. They must be out on Christmas benders. They must all be out on Christmas benders. Anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you to everyone who has watched this afternoon. There's sitting just over 900 views on the video this morning. I'm Hammer, Dundee World Beaters now. Hammer, Dundee World Beaters now. Fenian Red Bull gives you wins. It does that. Yes, the Fenian Red Bull. The green edition of the Fenian Red Bull. Yep, the green edition. Just goes with the hat, doesn't it? That'll really wind up the Sevconians. Fucking green Red Bull. Anyway, I just turned in that and we'll get the end video up. Thank you for everyone who has watched. Make sure you join me tomorrow morning for the Sunday morning special news, and then we'll be back live on air 1 hour and 30 minutes before kickoff, as always, to get the Celtic team as it is announced by Celtic on the Tinternet. Anyway, we'll get this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, is that one? Well, remember, we do have the Celtic Amazon page, the One Celtic Fans View Amazon page. If you're into buying something off Amazon, just click on the page and then go shopping as you would normal. And I'm looking for the video. Oh, there we go. Anyway, have a fantastic day wherever you are. Celtic fans all around the world.
Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the